Hi guys, bonjour mes amis, I'm Booger, welcome aboard. What is that? It's a Mennonite cooking cookbook. Yes, this was passed on to, I'm Booger, welcome aboard. This was passed on to me by my mother-in-law, so I love it. I have a playlist with a lot of recipes that I do, and I'm gonna transform everything in an air fryer recipe. That's what I do. But anyways, I found some cookies, some chewy maple cookies in here. I can't remember what page, but I wrote it down somewhere. We're gonna make some cookies. I got pure maple syrup from Canada. My friend Jim. Jim, if you're watching, thank you so much. We appreciate it. So we're gonna make some cookies. You guys ready? Let's go. Chin chin. All right, you guys. Here it is right here. Chewy maple cookies. I will type it down below exactly like it is in the recipe book. So I've got all my ingredients ready, and I'm using the KitchenAid. I was gonna do it manually, like I usually do the Mennonite recipes, but I am too tired. So we're gonna use that. All right, so cream, shortening, and sugar until fluffy. So let's do that. It's a half a cup of shortening, Crisco. There we go. And sugar is 1 cup of light brown sugar. It doesn't say light, but that's what I use. Packed. And don't make a mess on your book, Booger. Let me put that away because I'm gonna make a mess. All right, so let me cream this on low, and I'll be back just for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. All right, turn it off. And it says the egg, which is 1 egg. There you go. Half a cup of pure maple syrup. Thank you, Jim. He sends me that. I like a case of it. Oh my God, I love him so much. Because I am from Canada, and this is the real deal for me. So half a cup of that. And it says down there, it says if this is a half a teaspoon of vanilla or maple flavoring. So I don't know why they said that. Probably because if you're not using pure maple syrup, maybe that's why they said that. Or just to add a little more oomph. So I'm going to mix that up for another 20-30 seconds. I'll be back. All right, that looks good. So now we're going to put in 1.5 cups of sifted flour. Sift your flour so you don't have little balls of white flour floating around there. That's what I said. Little balls of white flour. And here I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And this is all stuff I already have, so that's why I picked this recipe out. And this is half a teaspoon of table salt. All right, so mix that up. 20 seconds or so. I'll be back. All right, guys, so let's turn it off. And we're gonna stir in 1 cup. It's either a flaked coconut or walnuts. I have walnuts. I have also coconut, but I got these to use up. So cut them up, chop them up in little pieces because they were halves. So you're not going to use the mixer for this part. I'm going to mix this by hand. All right, so I'll be back. We'll change the angle to the air fryer right here. So I'm going to follow instructions. I would do it a little bit differently, but that's okay. Let's do this. All right, so it says drop by teaspoon 2 inches apart onto greased baking sheets. Bake at 375 for 12-15 minutes or until lightly brown. Makes 3 dozen. So they're not big cookies, so that's okay. So I'm using the DeLonghi multi-fry. It's got a different pan that comes with it. It's got a turning paddle and all that stuff. This is an extra pan you can buy for like cakes. I like to do it for cakes and, you know, casseroles and stuff like that. So let me spray this with some olive oil. I would do it a little bit differently. I would probably use a parchment paper like this. You can get those for any air fryer. They're all over Amazon. Gonna do this, but I would use an ice cream scoop. So anyways, let's follow the directions. Teaspoon. This is how my grandmother used to make them, so it's okay. It's fine. It does smell like my grandmother's house. 2 inches apart. All right, so that's all you do. Let me finish this. You don't want to see all this jazz, do you? And I'll be right back. I'll give you the cooking instructions. So it says 375. That's in an oven. I don't have to preheat this or nothing in an air fryer. So you think about that. The oven is a huge appliance. This is a small appliance with the heat really close to the food. So you got to lower the temperatures when you're making cookies and cakes and you know whatnot. Not everything needs to be cooked on high heat in an air fryer. All right, so mine has a bottom burner. You don't have to have a bottom burner. It's just going to take you probably another extra minute. All right, so usually when I bake, I put it at 2.5. And if you want to know what that number means, it's listed down below. It's approximate settings. But I am going to turn the bottom burner on. I may turn it off because of the Crisco that's in there. It's going to bake that bottom really fast. So I'm going to see how it looks. If I see a little darker spots on the bottom of the cookie, I'm going to turn it off. Okay? Like I said, you really don't need it. 12 to 15 minutes? I don't think so, but I'll let you know. Okay? So let's turn on. You got to plug it in, booger. These things work with electricity. We'll be back. As we're talking 10 minutes. Wowzers. I'm gonna go another 1 minute. So 11 minutes. Oh, a little close. 11 minutes. We'll be back. Oh, beautiful, eh? This is just half of it. So the other half, I'm gonna freeze the dough. I'm gonna vacuum seal it and freeze it because that's a lot of cookies. So it does yield that much. Pretty cool. It didn't take long. Now I turned the bottom burner off after 3 minutes, okay? It was getting dark. If you wanna see, look at that. That is perfect. So you really don't need the bottom burner. And you can up the heating a little bit, not too much, so I wouldn't mess with it. But 11 minutes and you got yourself some beautiful cookies. Why not? I'm not a sweets person, but I do love my maple syrup. So I will take one, and walnuts too. I know if Tom was here, he's not going to be home for a little bit. He would say, where are the chocolate chips? But hey, I'm following the recipe as is, so. Look at that. And it says they're chewy. You hear that crunch? That is a lovely cookie. Ma'am, this is a lovely cookie. 253, I think it was, right? Oh, that's so good. I could do these cookies. Mary, wow. Put your glasses on, booger. Oh, it's delicious, you guys. You can't buy a good cookie like that, I'm telling you. Mary Beth Wise, you are so wise. That is a lovely cookie, my dear. So I love this one. You guys need to try it. Listen, I know you could do everything else in the air, in the oven, all that stuff. But what if your oven breaks and all you have is an air fryer? You can still make cookies. That is a lovely cookie. And I don't like sweets. I'm not crazy about it. Of course, you give me a caramel milk from Canada, I'll be all over that. Or crunchy. Let me just say crunchy. Yeah, that's good. All right, you guys. Sorry. I have a playlist of recipes that I do out of this book. It was handed down to me by my mother-in-law. She collected recipe books, so this one I got from her. I love it. It's very simple. It reminds me of my grandmother's cooking. I love it so much. So I'll put a link at the end of this video, little box there. Click on that and go check it out. Thanks for shopping, guys. Bye-bye.